If you've ever driven along Pacific Coast Highway through Malibu, there's one roadside stop that's almost impossible to miss: Neptune's Net. Sitting across from the Pacific Ocean, this iconic seafood shack has been serving up ocean views, cold drinks, and baskets of fresh seafood for decades. It's the kind of place where surfers, bikers, road trippers, families, locals, and curious first-time visitors all end up at the same tables, soaking in that unmistakable Malibu energy. But Neptune's Net is more than just a place to grab fish and chips. It's a piece of Southern California history. What started in the 1950s has grown into a world-famous coastal landmark, known for its laid-back atmosphere, its first-come, first-served charm, and its unforgettable location right along the edge of the coast. Today we're heading inside to check out what makes this Malibu landmark so special. The food, the views, the crowd, the history, and the classic California vibe that keeps people coming back year after year. So grab a seat, listen to the waves, and come with us to Neptune's Net, where the surf meets the turf on one of the most scenic stretches of the Malibu coast. You may even recognize it from the screen. Neptune's Net has appeared in films and shows like Point Break, The Fast and Furious, and Iron Man 3, making it a favorite stop not only for seafood lovers, but for movie fans chasing a little Hollywood nostalgia. In the 1991 surf crime classic Point Break, Neptune's Net appears as part of the film's Southern California surf world, helping ground the story in real beach culture rather than a studio-made version of it. A decade later, The Fast and Furious used the restaurant as the backdrop for one of its early character moments, connecting the place to another kind of California subculture: cars, speed, and loyalty. The restaurant's screen history does not stop there. Neptune's Net has been associated with titles like Losing It, People Like Us, Gossip Girl, and The Hills, and even inspired an Iron Man 3 setting that recreated the Malibu hangout for the film. Although the logistics of filming for Iron Man 3 made it too difficult to film directly at the eatery, the film crew recreated Neptune's Net as a set. Each appearance adds to the restaurant's reputation as more than a seafood stop, but a visual shortcut for freewheeling, sun-soaked personalities in Malibu. The setting is real, relaxed, and unmistakably Southern California. The kind of place that looks like a movie location because it has always had its own story to tell. Long before Neptune's Net became a famous Malibu landmark, this stretch of Pacific Coast Highway was home to a much simpler roadside stop. In 1956, Eastman Jake Jacobs, a retired aerospace aerodynamicist, opened the original business near County Line Beach. Back then, it was known as Panorama Pacific at Solamar, with a gas station, real estate office, and a small restaurant serving classic roadside food. The locals even started calling it Jake's Diner, and the stop became part of the everyday rhythm of the coast. Over time, seafood became a bigger part of the identity. In the early 1970s, the restaurant shifted more toward fresh seafood, including live seafood tanks and lobster flown in from Maine, helping shape the menu and atmosphere people associate with Neptune's Net today. The name Neptune's Net came from a public naming contest, and the winning entry helped give the restaurant its lasting identity. In 1974, Paul and Dolly Shea purchased the business and continued developing it into a coastal gathering place, adding improvements and helping build its reputation for casual seafood, Friday night fish fries, and welcoming roadside vibe. In 1991, Chong and Michelle Lee took over ownership, preserving the restaurant's laid-back character while keeping it busy with locals, tourists, surfers, bikers, and film fans. Through all the changes, Neptune's Net has kept the feel of an old-school California beach stop. First come, first served. That history is part of what makes the place special. Neptune's Net is not polished or fancy, and that is exactly the point. It has survived because it feels authentic. A place where the food, the road, the waves, and the people all tell the story of Malibu. The food at Neptune's Net is exactly what you want from a classic beach road stop. Simple, salty, satisfying, and built for eating with the ocean in view. On one side, there are fried favorites: fish and chips, shrimp baskets, calamari, scallops, clam strips, and combo plates that arrive golden and crisp, ready for tartar sauce, lemon, and a pile of fries. On the other side, there are grilled fish platters, ahi tuna, salmon, mahi-mahi, tacos, burgers, sandwiches, and bowls of New England clam chowder, including the kind served in a sourdough bread bowl that feels made for a foggy Malibu afternoon. But the real flavor of Neptune's Net is not only on the plate. It is in the ritual of ordering at the counter, finding a table wherever you can, hearing motorcycles roll in and seagulls call overhead, then carrying a tray of seafood toward the light. It is casual, crowded, a little loud, and completely alive. The kind of meal where the fries taste better because of the salt air, the chowder feels warmer because of the wind, and every bite comes with a view of the Pacific just across the road. Neptune's Net has always lived close to the rhythm of the surfers. Just across Pacific Coast Highway, County Line Beach pulls them in with morning glass, winter swell, and the quiet promise of one more clean ride before the wind comes up. For generations, Malibu's waves have shaped a language of patience and saltwater, and after the ocean has had its say, surfers drift back across the road with wet hair, sunburned shoulders, and the calm that follows a good set. At Neptune's Net, they find more than fried fish and cold drinks. They find a place to linger, to watch the light move across the water, to trade stories about the break, and to become part of the old coastal ritual: wave, road, table, horizon. Before it became Pacific Coast Highway, before the green Route 1 signs and endless postcards, this road was a dream of connection, a shoreline route that would stitch together the lonely edges of California, carrying travelers between Santa Monica and Ventura with the ocean as their constant companion. In Malibu, that dream was not easily won. For years, the coast was remote and fiercely guarded, a place of ranch land, cliffs, tide pools, and locked gates. May Ringe, the owner of the great Rancho Topanga Malibu Sequit, fought to keep roads and railways from cutting through her land. But the age of the automobile was arriving, and with it came the idea that the coast should be seen, crossed, and remembered from behind a windshield. By the late 1920s, the Roosevelt Highway opened through the stretch of shore, part of an ambitious coastal road named in honor of Theodore Roosevelt. It was narrow, hard-won, and carved into a landscape that was never passive. The mountains leaned toward the sea, the bluffs shifted, winter storms washed at its edges, and still the road remained, bending with the coastline like a silver thread between the chaparral and the surf. Over time, Roosevelt Highway became Pacific Coast Highway, and then simply PCH, 3 letters that sounded like an invitation. Along Malibu, it became more than a route. It became a mood, a promise, a moving picture of Southern California itself. Convertibles rolled beneath the palms. Surfers watched the tide from truck beds. Lovers pulled over at sunset when the ocean turned copper and the whole horizon seemed to breathe. Every mile through Malibu carries that history, the struggle to build, the beauty that resisted being tamed, the strange romance of a road balanced between danger and desire. On one side, the Santa Monica Mountains rise dry and golden. On the other, the Pacific keeps arriving, wave after wave, as if trying to erase the road and bless it at the same time. And that is why the drive feels timeless. Pacific Coast Highway through Malibu is not just pavement, it is a threshold, a ribbon of longing stretched along the edge of the continent, where the mountains fall toward the sea and the sea rises back in endless thunder. Every bend feels like a decision, every sunset like a farewell, every mile like a promise that California is still becoming itself. That's the house I would like to have.
Is that a house?
Regardless of what it is.
But you'd make it into one.
I'd make it.
I would too.
I'm just, oh, this is gorgeous. The drive still feels timeless. Pacific Coast Highway through Malibu is not just pavement. It is a threshold, a ribbon of longing stretched along the edge of the continent, where the mountains fall toward the sea, and the sea rises back in endless thunder. Every bend feels like a decision, every sunset like a farewell, every mile like a promise that California is still becoming itself. Follow it long enough, and the road stops feeling like a road at all. It becomes memory in motion, a love letter written in salt, asphalt, and light, carrying everyone who enters it toward the next wave, the next horizon, and whatever waits beyond the curve.